what I think is ironic is when you're growing up as a young girl, right? They want you to be on birth control. It's like, don't have a baby too young. You don't want to have a baby. And then all of a sudden, right? Because you've been trying to not have a baby and then you want to have a baby. And then exactly that, you're questioning God. You're questioning, why is this happening to me? What does this mean for my womb? What does this mean for my uterus? Can I even keep my uterus? Right. And I think for me, it was very important, number one, to keep my uterus because I feel doctors will push hysterectomies on us. And that was just not acceptable for me. And also doctors looked at me and they were like, well, you're still young. You haven't had a child yet. You want to preserve your uterus, don't you? And, you know, in the days when I was bleeding and cramping so bad, there were days where I was like, you know what? F it. I will just get a hysterectomy if I don't have to go through this. Right. So it's those wave of emotions too. And then I think when I would have those discussions with my partner, right, and he already has a child from a previous relationship, which I also want to say is, you know, there's other ways to be a mom too. You can be a stepmom, you can be a role model, you can adopt, you know, there's lots of different ways to be a mom that I had to kind of shift my own mindset into thinking. But when it came to my fertility specifically, there's still hope for me. And the laparoscopic route is more minimal invasive. So it's not, you know, like a cesarean cut, or it's not going to be as traumatic to the body. But it did kind of put some pressure on the relationship, and it did put pressure on myself as a woman. Because I always took it as, oh, you know, if it's meant to be, God will bless me with a baby, right? Or, oh, I'm such a go with the flow type of person where, you know, I started getting intimidated when I would be in these doctor appointments and they'd be like, well, what's your plan? Like, do you want to have a baby? And when you want to have a baby, you know, we're going to say, let's take these fibroids out. And then you should probably think about having a baby in the next year or the next, you know, and that was a lot of messages being thrown at me. Right. And then just having that additional pressure and having those tough conversations in my relationship at the time, it was difficult. Right.